A little bit. Like, I thought it'd be like just sniffing the top 10.
Yeah, I think so too, mainly because it's so much better than Coke.
Yeah. Oh. He's trying to draw me off sides, people.
Welcome to Unscripted with Kirby Hasseman and Bill Petrie. In this weekly podcast, Kirby and Bill talk about the world of marketing, branding, and promotional products. Unscripted is available only at promocorner.com, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Now, here's Kirby and Bill.
And welcome to episode number 188 of Unscripted. I am your co-host, Bill Petrie. With me, as always, the Rear Admiral of Rest, Relaxation, Recreation, and Refreshment, which is exactly the same title I gave him last week because I didn't quite prepare for the podcast like I thought I should. Oops. So let's try this again. Let's call him the Czar of the Tom Show today.
I like it.
The one and only Kirby Hasseman. Kirby, how the hell are you?
I am doing pretty well. Actually, the rest and relaxation, I need that again just because.
I knew that. I was being very prescient.
Yeah, that's right. And so, no, I'm doing well. It's funny, we talked last week and I wasn't feeling well when we recorded it. And then I immediately went on the Tom shows. And so I'm feeling better now, but it was an interesting week. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Sorry I didn't prepare. I spent so much time on topics, I actually forgot to give you a title, and I know Mandy Rudd's going to be very upset with me that I didn't do that properly. But you know what's never going to get you upset, Kirby?
What's that, Bill?
Thank you so much for knowing to ask. That'd be our good pals at High Tech Graphics. They've serviced our industry for over 10 years. Now, for a lot of you, that's a decade, but 10 years. And over that time, they've learned the best thing they can offer is really amazing customer service. They've had plenty of time to learn the ins and outs of decorating the industry. They can offer invaluable resources when it comes to growing your company, from embroidery, screen print, digital, so much more. They're really here to help, and it's done with a smile and a willingness to do whatever it takes to make the experience the best you'll ever have. And that's a great way to approach business, isn't it, Kirby?
Oh, it's anytime that you can approach business when you're trying to be the best and create some joy, I'm a fan.
Absolutely. And they have a couple great specials for Kirby, so you can pick one or the other, but not both. One or the other. Okay. Number one, you get a free 3-day rush on your next screen print order. Okay. That's a great deal, right?
Yep.
And if you want to use that, you give them the promo code promo-F3DR, or you can have 3 free screens on your next order. Now, that's a big savings there.
That is.
If you want to take advantage of that, it's promo-FSFR. So you got 2 to choose from there. Our friends at High Tech Graphics. And remember, always, that means always, not never, not sometimes, not most of the time, not the majority of the time, not a preponderance of the time. It means always free shipping on all orders $99 or more. So you can learn more at htgwholesale.com/promocorner. You're not going to be sorry you did. So, Kirby, are you prepared to broadcast at a NyQuil level this week?
I was going to say, I think it was Mucinex last week.
It was Mucinex last week?
Yeah, so NyQuil and, Christmas Ale, I think, is what I've been using for Mucinex and NyQuil lately. So, yeah, I'm in.
Well, why don't we start off this way, Kirby? You did the gauntlet known as the Tom Shows last week. And so, for those of you who are not familiar, let me tee this up for you, and you can tell me where I'm wrong, and I want to hear about your experience there. But so the Tom Shows is a regional traveling show in the kind of the far east Midwest, for lack of a better term. It starts off in Cincinnati, and then it goes to Columbus, Cleveland, and then Detroit. And you were asked to speak at the Tom Shows this year.
Yep.
And I wanted to get your perspective, because I've done it as well, so I have some thoughts as well. You really, as a distributor and as a service provider when I did it, you get kind of the life of a supplier. It's a different town every day. You turn into Teddy Ruxpin. You say the same things all the time. Tell us all about your experience doing the Tom Shows, which is a great traveling show, by the way. So
yeah. So
get that out of the way.
It's great, and I had a feeling I have this as a topic as well. I figured we'd have this discussion, so thank you for bringing it up. It's funny when the experience was very good. When I said yes to doing it, I almost immediately was like, geez, because as you use the word gauntlet, I think I think you understand. As distributors, we roll in, go to the one trade show, we're there for a couple hours and leave. And, it's while I appreciate the life of a supplier to go through it even for a short period of time, it makes you understand that supplier reps and multi-line reps are the unsung heroes of our industry. Literally, I don't think these events or many of the events in our industry could possibly happen without these road warriors just being willing to just get up and go. Because again, it's not just the setup that morning, but then immediately then you tear down and you're heading to the next city. It is impressive. I was struck by the importance of routines. I talk a lot about routines, but in that, like that, totally outside of my comfort zone. And I was talking to somebody, Bill. The idea that I wasn't feeling well was actually a little bit of a blessing, because I think that there's the opportunity for me, who has a penchant for making poor choices on the road. There was none of that.
Don't sell yourself short. You make poor choices all the time.
Thank you. But I made very good choices last week. It's the first time on a 4 or 5 day road trip that I felt better at the end than at the beginning. I was in the bed early. And then the other final sort of thought I had about it was just, I absolutely love to see the regionals collaborate, because this was across 3 regionals. It was TISPA, Open, and MIPA. And they, coordinate this, and it's where the regionals are acting in the best interest of the folks that they purport to serve. And this is a perfect example of that. Great for the companies, the suppliers, great for the distributors, so that it provides them a great product and service. So I was just really impressed, super tired, super excited to be back in the office, but man, it was well done.
Yeah, so on my Facebook memories this week, it's been 4 years since I did the Tom Show. 5 years since I blew up my Achilles. So it's been 4 years since I did the Tom Show. And when I did the Tom Show, it was actually a little bit longer. It was 2 weeks. So it was the gauntlet you ran last week, and then the following week it was St. Louis and Kansas City. Yikes. And so it was, and I remember the same thing you did. It's like, I thought I had it bad, right? I got to get up at 8 o'clock, or I got to be talking at 8 o'clock in the morning and coming from Central Time. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm my body clock time, talking for an hour about whatever it was I'm talking about, and then there was the trade show, and I could just pack up and go, and I did. I mean, I went to the trade show I think the first day, and then we had some snow in Cincinnati, so it was tough going to Columbus. And I bailed. And like you, I was like a hermit that week. I think the first night I went out, the night before the first Tom Show, I went out. So it was like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were the shows. So that Monday I was there and I went out. After that, man, I was a hermit. Yeah. I didn't do anything other than really just take care of myself. And it is a gauntlet. And I always think of the comparison I always use, these are like the working bands that nobody knows about, right? Yeah. The supplier reps, the multi-line reps, and it's like the great local music, but they go from small venue to small venue to small venue, and I don't think people realize how difficult that job is on a family, on a body, on just personally. It's a tough job, and so it really kind of gives you a bite of the reality sandwich. And when you see the joy that they have putting up their booth, maybe not joy is not the right word, but they do it diligently every day. Yeah, they're with customers every day, whether it's distributors and things like that, and then they break down, go to the next show, and it's a tough grind. It's a tough grind. So I'm glad you had a good time. I heard good things about your talk.
Oh,
so
thanks.
That's good.
Yeah, you cannot overstate. And again, the idea of the boards, the regionals, they did a great job too, keeping it organized. I was really impressed, because there's multiple things that they're managing there, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously the trade show, but then the idea of each venue is different from a speaking perspective, right? And that it's like sometimes you're walking in and it's totally AV'd out, and you've got all the things. There was one room I walked in. There's no AV. There's no mic. I'm just standing in front, and that's. Yeah. I pride myself, and this about me. I pride myself in walking into a room and going, whatever, I'm good. And so, but it is a. And when you're not feeling well, it's like you mentioned it. You got to be up there, but you have to be on. Yep. And so the whole thing I thought was really well done.
Yeah, and I don't pride myself on rolling with those type of things as a speaker. No, I'm kidding. I do, but I do like some semblance of continuity. And so I saw one picture of you with a handheld microphone, and that's something I hate. I personally loathe presenting with a handheld microphone because I use my hands a lot, and
Right.
it just feels unnatural because I end up doing this. Like I'll talk like this, and front video I can do this, but I'll hold the microphone. But as I talk, I'll use my hand and therefore move it away.
Yeah.
So, and I've had to do those things too. I think there was one Tom show was in where was it? I think it was when we did the Kansas City one. And you know how the hallway when you're walking to PPI Expo, when you're walking to the show floor, and there's a cobblestone hallway, and I always call it that's God's flashlight, beaming in on you as you walk to the show, judging you from the mistakes you made last night. That's how bright the room was. So we had a PowerPoint, but no one could see it because the room was so bright. You just got to roll with that stuff. So like you, I generally roll with that stuff, but I'm at the point now, and I think you are too, when I'm going to speak somewhere, I ask, may I use my own computer? Do you have this? Do you have this? I have all the connections I need, but I just want to make sure I can do what I want because I find it works better that way. So good. I'm glad you enjoyed the Tom shows. Kirby, would you like to regale us with another topic for podcast 188?
Yeah, again, I know it's a little bit outside of what we normally talk about, but, I always like to be paying attention to things that are trending, and you use the term tone deaf. I mean, this day or so ago and a couple days when this finally goes live, Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter crash. Yeah, I know. It's hard to escape. Yeah. But it is one of those things where it's such a big story that obviously 9 people, I think, lost their lives. Yeah. And for me, it's funny because I haven't been feeling well. I actually went in and took a nap. And when I came out, my wife said, Kobe Bryant. They're saying Kobe Bryant passed away. And, immediately you're struck by it.
Sure.
And my takeaway, again, as someone, I think we talk about the fact that each of us is a media company today, immediately go online to try and find out what's going on. This was literally, they were reporting it as it happened when I go online. Mm-hmm. And the frustration I have with media today, and I understand that the toothpaste is out of the bottle, but how people and organizations and websites are reporting things when they don't know things to be true is morally repugnant to me. And at one point I actually saw a report where they said that it was Kobe and his 4 daughters. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, don't go to try and scoop people and tell things that are that is embarrassing and very troubling to me. The TMZ world we live in, I understand it, but I don't have to like it. And so it's a bummer.
So I was playing with the dog and our new puppy, and TV was on in the background, and got the news that Kobe Bryant had passed away. And like you, and here's the thing, what you just said, you went online to get more information, which is the fuel that feeds exactly what we're both complaining about.
Right.
So we are part of the problem, to be very clear. I don't want to be, but the fact is we are, because I went online, I went to Twitter, I started flipping around, where can I find the best news or the quickest news? It's the reptilian part of our brain. We just want to know. And so I actually was watching ABC when I believe it was Matt Gutman reported it was Kobe and all 4 of his daughters.
Yeah, I wanted to throw up.
And like you, there's part of me that's, a huge part of me that hates the whole gotta be first, accuracy be damned mentality that the news media has. But again,
not all the news media.
No, but the majority of it. I mean, I think we could say a preponderance of it, and feel pretty good about saying that. I don't think people were holding back that much. People wanted to, they wanted to be the first to report things. And TMZ was the one who actually broke the news. We used to make fun of the National Enquirer for talking about, them beaming up JFK to the moon and headlines like that, but they broke some pretty big stories and become a fairly reputable news source. TMZ's done the same thing. The whole thing, but like you, I was very turned off by this whole race to a couple things. Number one, just report whatever. Whatever. If there's a kernel of truth in it, we're reporting it. Oh, yeah, sorry. We live in, and to me, I think you and I grew up in a generation where I was taught to hold the news media in a little bit of a higher regard,
right,
and maybe have higher expectations. And so I struggle with that because I think my kids and your kids probably understand that there's bias in all the news. There's this, like I said, a race to
but there's a difference between bias and reporting things that you just simply don't know to be true.
Well, but
that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's different.
I agree, but here's the thing. My point is there's no repercussions.
Right.
So is Matt Gutman, I think it was Matt, I'm pretty sure it was him. Is the guy who reported, hey, my understanding was Kobe and his 4 daughters, is he punished for that?
Yeah.
No. The only person who's punished is someone from the Washington Post who, in everybody's race to canonize Kobe, brought up the fact that he was accused of a pretty heinous crime early in his career. You can read about it if you want. I'm not going to get into it. But they had the gall to do that, which I think that is the news, is the media's responsibility to say, hey, I know John Lennon said once, everybody loves you when you're dead. But maybe we shouldn't race to canonize people that, everybody is a complete person, and we should remember that. I don't know. I struggled with the whole thing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I guess the one thing I would say is, and I don't know if you've seen this yet, but to tie it back to the industry, is HIT Promotions is doing a 5%, I think, donation.
Yep, it is
5% donation to the Kobe and Gigi Foundation, I believe, during February.
Yeah.
So kudos, just in a tragic situation, kudos to HIT for trying to step up.
And look, by all accounts, Kobe had really whatever may or may not have happened when he was accused of that crime in Colorado, 20 years ago. By all accounts, he was a great guy and had turned his life around and had become quite the family man, quite the entrepreneur, quite the media company, as you were bringing up earlier. And I think the death of anyone at 41 is tragic, right?
Yeah.
And all I kept thinking about was, as a father, thinking about he probably knew that last 15 seconds that not only he was going to die, but his daughter was, and all the other people on that helicopter as well. They had that moment, and just that I can't imagine that. So it's a tragedy, certainly. I do wish the media would treat that with a little more respect.
Yes.
And so there's that. So there's your downer part of the podcast.
Sorry, brother.
That's okay. Which brings me to our secondary sponsor. Our good friends over at Tervis. I don't know about you, but I saw their booth over at PPI Expo. Great products. I always, as much as I love all their products, I always go back to that classic line that they have. I love that. They've been around since 1946. They have those sleek styles that's perfect for the active, on-the-go lifestyle. It's that original double-wall insulated drinkware. It keeps those cold drinks nice and cold, and you get humidity, I know, in the summer, and it doesn't sweat, which I love that those things. It reduces that condensation. So they're available in many sizes, including wine glass, both stemmed and stemless, the 10-ounce wavy, the 16-ounce mug, 16-ounce and 24-ounce tumblers, the 24-ounce water bottle, and, of course, Kirby, that sippy cup. You love that sippy cup.
I do.
Made from Triton plastic, made in America, lifetime warranty. Is it dishwasher safe? You betcha. Microwave safe? Of course. Please, don't ask dumb questions. And it's BPA free. So if you want to learn more, go to tervispromos.com. You're not going to be sorry you did. Now, Kirby, Vistaprint, you're familiar with Vistaprint. They're kind of a ancillary part of our industry, as they're owned by Simpress, which also owns our friends over at Gold Star Pens, part of that family. So they did a little survey. I think it was 2,000 people. The top, the most recognized logos in the United States.
Okay.
They did the top 30, but I don't really care about that.
Okay.
Let's focus on the top 10. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to go from 10 to 1.
Okay.
Number 10, and I want to know, are there any surprises there? And then we'll go from there. So any surprises in these top 10? Number 10, YouTube.
Okay.
Number 9, Amazon. Number 8, Adidas or Adidas, depending on where you want to pronounce that. What was that one? 10, 9, 8, 7, Facebook. 6, Google. 5, Starbucks. 4, Nike. 3, Coca-Cola. Number 2, McDonald's. And number 1, Kirby? Apple.
Okay.
Any surprises there?
No, it's funny. I literally was making the note of McDonald's being near the top, and when you hadn't gotten to it, I was like, well, that's going to be my surprise. Yeah. No, I think those make sense. I think the idea that tech companies have, when you said, the moment you said YouTube, I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to think of those logos I see every single day.
Right.
And
it makes them memorable.
Yeah, and I think that those are the ones. And again, I just based on hearing them off the top of my head, I can't think of one that is missed. But Apple being number one makes sense. I think.
I get a little bit of an advantage here because I was the one who came up with the topic. I did have a couple surprises. I thought the fact that Disney wasn't on there shocked me. Netflix wasn't higher, shocked me.
Okay.
And then no car companies, not one automobile company, not Ford, not Toyota, not Honda, none of them. Shocked me that they weren't in the top 10. Just me, personally.
Yeah, I think that,
it shows a shift, I think, in where we are as a society more than anything else.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think the Disney one is really good. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, I'm not surprised about the car logos. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the things that I see and, not only see, but really register and affect my behavior. Right. When I see the YouTube logo, Facebook logo, those things affect my behavior on a daily basis. Toyota does not.
But are you surprised? Okay, so Coca-Cola's number 3 makes sense. It's an iconic brand.
Right.
Aren't you surprised Pepsi's in the top 10? I was a little surprised by that.
A
little bit. I thought it'd be like just sniffing the top 10.
Yeah, I think so too, mainly because it's so much better than Coke.
Yeah. Oh. He's trying to draw me off sides, people, and he doesn't realize I'm having a Bang energy drink today. So I am having neither, sir.
Yikes.
What do you think makes a logo memorable, though? So I think you kind of described it, and I can talk about what I think if it will help.
Yeah, why don't you go first? But I have a couple thoughts.
I think especially when looking at these, when I look at these logos, I think what makes these logos so memorable is certainly the colors. There's a lot of great color pop, but really they're all very simple.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
simple is incredibly difficult. People always equate simple with low quality and stupid.
Right.
No. Simple is one of the most difficult things to achieve, especially in design. And so they're minimalist. I mean, you look at the Apple logo, especially now, it's not the multicolored rainbow that it was when it started out. It's a simple black silhouette of an apple. You look at McDonald's, it's just a yellow M, and you instantly know what it means. The Starbucks logo is just that green with the, creepy witch or whatever the hell it is coming out at you. Nike, it's a swoosh, right? You see that swoosh and you can almost hear someone say, just do it. So it's that, to me, that's what makes a logo memorable when you can look at it without any words and know exactly the company it's representing, and it gives you some semblance of emotion attached to that logo. That's what I think makes a logo memorable, at least to me.
I like the idea of simplicity very much. Obviously, there's simplicity and familiarity. I think the thing that struck me is that each one of those logos are ones that I run into every single day, so that makes sense. Yeah. The simplicity piece that you made, reminded me of a quote one time that I heard from a writer, and he said that he had written a long letter because he didn't have time to write a short one.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I was like, yeah, the more I create, the more I work on stuff like that, the more truth I find in that you're trying to, the big piece of creating is editing.
Yep.
And creating something simple is very difficult.
It is. As a writer, I struggle with being, and I always say this internally, being economical with my words. I've never met a long sentence I didn't like. So all right, no, good stuff. Kirby, you got another topic for us?
Yeah, so Super Bowl's this weekend.
Yep.
I
think contractually we have to call it the big game.
Okay, well, you call it the big game. I'm going to call it the Super Bowl.
I don't want Roger Goodell and his NFL cronies to come into Promo Corner South and break my kneecaps because I didn't pay for a sponsorship on that.
I actually would love it if they would come to Coshocton. So,
okay. I thought you were saying they'd love to come here. I'm like, wow, that's pretty aggressive.
Yeah, that's
all right. Go ahead, Super Bowl.
Yeah, so that's coming up. Each year, I'm a big football fan. You are too.
Yep.
But I'm curious because it's such an iconic sort of day in American culture.
Yeah,
it's bigger than a football game in so many ways. So, what is it that you look forward to in the Super Bowl this year, every year? when this event comes around. This year, if it's the game, whatever.
All right. So it's a little different for me this year because I'll actually be in Dallas. I will be away from my family because I'm speaking at the ASI show next week. So
Right.
a little bit different this year. I always want, I'm a Cowboys fan, which means I haven't sniffed a Super Bowl in 50 or 25 years. So let's be real accurate here. I just want a good game.
Right.
I like a good game. I like the commercials. I do. I just want good competition.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than a blowout.
Yeah,
And
something that's over in the first quarter.
And for years, we had blowouts in the Super Bowl, and then it seemed like for a while we had good competition in the Super Bowl. I don't know what this year's going to bring. I have some things I want to talk about too, so we'll kind of roll that into this discussion because I have some things. So I look forward to the food. Like I said, I'll miss it this year because I'm not home preparing food, and I like making things. You know me; I love to cook. I love to eat, and so I will miss doing that quite a bit. But to me, since I'll be away, I'll just be with a group of people, and we'll watch the game, and it'll be fun in that manner. And I'll be at a sports bar, which is a fun way to watch the Super Bowl. It's very different. So, what do you look forward to, Kirby?
Yeah, I think so many times I'm like, and I've done that, by the way, where, heck, when I came down and spoke with Pam's
I remember.
the night before, you're watching it in a hotel room or whatever. But I am going to an event. What I always struggle with is I am one of the people in the room who does want to watch the actual football game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and not everybody does, and that's totally cool.
Yeah.
So trying to be appropriately social while actually paying attention to what Patrick Mahomes is going to be doing on the football field is a challenge, but a good one. And then, I actually am a person who's like, okay, the commercials are on. Everybody shut up now. I want to actually see what millions and millions of dollars of creative got you. And I want to see it. And so, and then this year I'm going to a party that's a soup or bowl. So everybody's bringing soup. Yep. And I'm actually excited for the soup.
What kind of soup are you bringing, Kirby? Let me guess. Some sort of beef stew with potatoes in it?
No, I was thinking I was going to bring chili full of beans.
I don't know what kind of cold medicine you're on, but you're really trying to draw me off sides today, and I'm not going to do it. Allow you to do it. Might I suggest a good French onion soup? May I suggest that?
You could suggest it, but I think that's disgusting, so no.
What?
That sounds gross.
I don't understand you.
Yeah, but beans.
Okay, so I'm glad you're looking forward to your bean-filled situational chili thing. All right, Kirby, so I actually had on my list of topics, I thought we'd do some big game predictions.
Okay.
And by the way, I look forward to the commercials too. It's something we talk about every week or every year after the Super Bowl, what we liked, what we didn't like. So I'm looking forward to that discussion very much. And so we'll talk about that next week, which means since I'm going to be in a room with a bunch of people, you're going to be in the room with a bunch of people, the number 1 or the number 10 most recognizable logo YouTube will be used a lot as we watch those commercials. All right. So I have I want to do some predictions for the game.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to write these down. We will go over these next week.
Okay, cool. I like it.
Who wins the coin toss, Kirby?
I'm going 49ers.
I went with the 49ers as well. Who scores first?
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Just Chiefs. Okay, Chiefs. I had the Chiefs as well. Who wins the game?
This is good. I actually am really curious. I mean, what I love about it is the immovable objects and the undeniable force or whatever. I'm going to vote with my heart on this one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I just think I want to see Mahomes and that high-flying offense do well.
All right. I believe it's going to be the Chiefs as well. So far, we're 3 for 3. Who wins the MVP? And I know you're going to say Mahomes, I'm assuming.
If Chiefs win, then Mahomes is going to win it.
I'm going to go Tyreek Hill as mine. I just think might be Tyreek Hill just because I didn't want it to be the same as you.
Yep.
What is the final score of the game, Kirby?
I go 41-33.
Wow, high scoring affair.
Well, again, if the Chiefs are going to win,
Yep.
I think they got to do it by scoring a lot of points.
I think the final score is 37-21 Kansas City. I think the 49ers, while they have a great team, great defense, I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo being able to hang with the Chiefs offense at all. Kirby, how many pounds of guacamole will be consumed by the United States viewing public?
Wow. I don't have a clue, so let's go with a ton.
A ton, so 2,000 pounds.
2,000 pounds.
By the entire United States. Kirby, I will eat that on my own. The correct answer is I'm going to go with 800,000 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. How many chicken wings?
Okay. I'm going...
Again, United States.
Yeah, 28 million.
Wow. Kirby went high there. I'm going to say 5 million.
Okay.
But you have 28, and that's good. I think that's it. I don't think I have any other predictions on here. I think that's it.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully it's a good game. That's the deal, right? Hopefully it's a fun, good game, and yeah.
So are you looking? I guess a really quick question: halftime show. Are you looking forward to this particular halftime show?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I don't even know who it is. Shakira, right?
It's J-Lo, and Shakira's a part of it, I think.
Right,
but it's Jennifer Lopez.
The NFL screws many things up.
Okay.
Halftime show is one of them. They've tried to make it this weird concert thing. And when they started doing it, I think it made some sense. And now they're running, basically, I hate to say it, but rock and roll is dead. There's really there's no big names to hold the attention of their target audience. Their target audience is people my age and your age, quite frankly. Those are people who have disposable income. So they're not going to put out people, like Lizzo, who's very popular right now. She's not going to headline the halftime show.
Right.
Because you don't care, I don't care. Regardless of her talent, I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah.
So they keep trying to capture our age group. So they would trot out, two of the surviving members of The Who and call it The Who. Mm-hmm. They had Prince one year, which was awesome.
That was really good.
They had Bruce Springsteen, who yelled at everybody to put down their guacamole one year, and that was weird. They've run out of people. There's no more big rock acts other than the Foo Fighters, who I don't know if they would want to do that or not. So I don't know what to do with the halftime show. I'd actually like to see them, to be honest with you, either highlight local band, a local high school marching band, maybe two of them, one from each city. I think that would be really cool, and what a great reward for those kids. I'd like to see that, or maybe that's the time to announce the Hall of Fame inductees as opposed to doing it the day before. I think the whole halftime show thing is just boring as all get out. How about you?
Yeah, no, I think that part of the challenge they have is just that they want to pick something that they can control as much as they can, so that there's a lot of tracks.
They want safe.
I mean, to be candid, whether you like them or not, I mean, if Metallica performed at halftime, I would totally stop what I was doing to watch that.
I would love that, but there is no way on God's green earth the NFL would have Metallica on the halftime show.
I get it, but you asked who I would like. That'd be who I would like. I mean,
I'm sorry,
Foo Fighters, Metallica. there are some people that would, I think, command attention.
I do too. I think Zach Brown would.
Man, Zach Brown would be amazing.
Okay, but again, I think they've pigeonholed themselves into this weird. We want somebody who's popular, but we want to remove all danger from it because of the whole wardrobe malfunction when Justin Timberlake exposed Janet Jackson's boobie. So
my favorite. You mean my favorite halftime show?
It's just I mean, can you imagine them trotting out like this is something they would do? Trot out Aerosmith, right? They're 70. Trot out, and I would hate this. People would laugh. I would hate it. But if they trotted out Van Halen, that would be terrible. Yeah. Roth can't sing anymore. I mean, they're a shell of what they were.
Right.
I don't know what the answer is, but I know it isn't J-Lo, and I know it's not Shakira. Yes, we'll all tune in because we want to see what J-Lo's wearing and blah, 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 blah. But honestly, I just want more guacamole, Kirby. I got to get to that 2,000 pounds, and it ain't going to do it on its own.
I like it.
All right, Kirby. We are now at the time of the podcast where we talk about the promo person of the week, and this is where you go, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you. We are dedicating this. That's dedicated to highlight the one person in the promo industry, age, gender, affiliation doesn't matter, who's grabbing our attention and making us take notice. And so it's my week this week. And I'm really going to try as we go through this year to pick some people who are maybe unheralded. I think you and I naturally gravitate toward people who are well known, people who may be part of larger organizations and things like that. I'm going to try to shift a little bit. So the person I'm going to say is my promo person week, and it's someone who people should know, is Amy Rabideau. And if you don't know Amy, you should. So Amy is the RAC delegate to the PPAI board. So she sits on the PPAI board. She's the Summit Director of Purchasing. I worked with her a little bit when I was at Summit Group. And I've sat on the RAC board with her the last few years. What she's doing right now, though, she's actually going to chair the Regional Strategic Foresight Committee. And this committee is formed by PPAI for the sole purpose of making recommendations to the RAC board on the challenges, on how to address the challenges faced by the regional community. If you're part of any regional board, you know that almost every regional is funded by the once-a-year trade show, and very few of the regionals have the resources to weather if something happened at that trade show. I'm not going to get into all the details, but as immediate past president of the RAC board, I know the details. And so she is chairing this committee. It's a group of about 20 folks who are going to look at the common challenges faced by the regionals and make recommendations to how to fix those things. And she is doing a great job with that. It's a very difficult task. And to have her lead it, I really admire how she's doing it, and I think she's doing a great job. So Amy Rabideau from Summit Group is my promo person of the week.
I like that a lot, Bill. I like the idea that we're looking around the industry and finding new and different folks that are making a contribution, and so I think that's a great choice. So kudos and congrats, Amy.
Yep. And so I will be sending her a box of virtual high fives. Since I'm going to be in Dallas next week as I get to the ASI show in Fort Worth, I'm just going to drop it off at PPAI. She can pick it up whenever she wants.
I like it.
All right, Kirby. Best thing ever. I have a feeling this is Super Bowl related.
It's not.
What?
So best thing ever this week. And again, each time I'm trying to come up with different things that I think that you'll be able to answer on the spot, because I do think sometimes these are unfair, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the whole idea.
I know. So best thing ever. I was thinking about this week because of the travel and talking to people. So best sales advice that you have ever gotten in your career.
Wow, that's great. The best sales advice I have ever received is, and it's really more business advice, if I could go that route.
Yeah, sure.
We always do first thing that pops in our head. The four most important words in the English language are "I need your help," and that applies to sales too. So
totally,
where it applied to me, where I learned that is when I was cold calling. My first job out of college, when I was selling temporary help in Dallas. I wore a suit. I had to make 30 cold calls a day, and I started every call with I'd walk into an office building or the floor of an office building and to the receptionist say, "I need your help. Who is in charge of X?" And I learned that is first of all, it's very disarming. Yeah. Second of all, it really puts you in a position of you really do need someone's help. And we are predisposed as humans, as much as you and I and maybe the world, we're all a little jaded. People are generally good and they want to help others.
They do.
So that's the best sales advice I've ever been given is to be conciliatory and ask for help when you need it.
I actually think that's terrific advice. So well done. Mine, I still go back to the idea of see the people. When in doubt, getting out of the office. I think we spend a lot of time waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for the email to come in, waiting for the big order to just magically appear. There's more and more studies are saying part of it is familiarity. So it's not only just seeing the people, but it's allowing the people to see you. Yeah. And that's still true in a social media driven world. So
no question.
When in doubt, see the people.
I'm going to add one more.
Yeah.
And I think this is the second thing I would say. And I don't know who told me this. I know I didn't come up with it organically. It's not new. But it's when things are going well, email communication is fine. When things start going sideways, pick up the phone.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, the rule for us is once it gets past 3 emails.
Yeah.
conversation that was going poorly ever got better through an email.
Yeah. Speaking of picking up, I'm picking up my dog who's with me today, and we need to read our final sponsor, don't we, Shelby? Shelby just woke up. Say hi, Shelby.
Hi, Shelby.
All right, so Shelby, you love high-tech graphics, don't you? Of course you do. You know they've served the industry for over 10 years. Yeah, that's a big yawn. They've served the industry for over 10 years, and they've learned the best thing they can offer, Shelby, is amazing customer service. Can you believe that? That's right, amazing customer service. So they have a couple great specials. They have that free 3-day rush on the next screen print order, and that's promo code. Oh, my goodness. That's promo code promo-F3DR. Thank you, Shelby, for the kisses. Or you can have 3 free screens on your next order, which is promo-FSFR. And they always have free shipping on orders $99 or more. Wow, okay. We're getting there. No, don't bite that. You can learn more at htgwholesale.com/promo corner. You're not going to be sorry you did.
Well done, my friend.
All right, Kirby, I hope you have a great week. I got to take the dog out to go pee-pee now.
Enjoy. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Unscripted with Kirby Hasseman and Bill Petrie. Unscripted is available every Friday at promocorner.com, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry.